Hey there, today we have an exact opposition between Mars and Pluto. We've been following this opposition as this is the third time it will be exact since this whole process began in early November of 2024. Let's take a look at what that means for the energies and the energies we are moving through, what's going to change, what is shifting, and so Sunday, we've got a new moon in Taurus that is squaring this Mars-Pluto opposition. So let's take a look at what that means and how we can work with these energies and make the most of them. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro vibe and kind of an Astro perspective for today because I want to spend a little more time unpacking some of these themes. So what we've got going on, and by the way, the moon continues in Aries. The moon is the mood of the day, right? So on Saturday, April 26th, we continue with that Aries moon energy. That is kind of two ways I'm thinking about it. One is that the moon is in Aries. So we are really focusing on the energy of Mars. The energy of Mars is highlighted because Mars is the ruler of Aries. They are both about action, how we take action. Your Mars in your natal chart tells you your natural style of how you take action. And so where Mars is in the sky gives us an idea of sort of the energy we're all feeling in terms of the drive, the will to move and find our courage and move things forward. So we've got that Aries moon vibe going on at the same time as this exact opposition of Mars to Pluto, intense energies, right? And then also thinking about this Aries moon as coming full circle from where we began a month ago almost with an Aries solar eclipse and new moon that began the current moon cycle. So we're wrapping up, right? Coming to a conclusion on the current moon cycle. So looking back on what has been evolving, unfolding, what's been being put in new directions, what is starting for you, new ways of seeing yourself, new ways of stepping forward, new directions for creative projects, and so much more as we really collectively grapple with this whole idea of what are we becoming. It's sort of clear that things are changing, right? But what does that mean? How are we going to interact with these changes, right? What does it inspire or instill in us? How do we think about our own role in these changes? How do we think about the need to defend and protect, the need to push back, the need to stand up? How do we feel about our own things that we care about, right? Things we're working on, things that matter to us, things that we're invested in, and how do we think about that? And how do we think about just living our everyday ordinary lives with the news just going crazy all the time? So first of all, I would say if the news is too much for you, take a break from it because it's a lot, right? And the feeling of getting off track is not helping. It's not helping you. It's not helping your well-being. It's probably not helping your family, right? Who might need you or your community who might need you. So really take the breaks that you need for your own self-care. Ask yourself, how am I best contributing to the things I care about? Is it by getting myself, in trying to follow every little thing, or is it taking a step back and asking what is my priority right now? So thinking about that for yourself can be helpful. Okay, so coming back to this, looking at the symbolism of this Mars Pluto opposition. Let's break it down. All right, so first of all, we've got Pluto now in Aquarius, We went through a 2-year process in 2023 and 2024 of Pluto moving from Capricorn into Aquarius, back to Capricorn, into Aquarius again, back to Capricorn again. And now it is in Aquarius, where it will stay until 2043, when it will go through another 2-year process. But that's not for quite a while, right? Okay, so Pluto is now in Aquarius, has fully shifted from the energies of systems, structures, institutions, really having Pluto, the great transformer, move through our systems and infrastructure and our ways of organizing, our ways of operating, having that Pluto energy of transformation, almost like a bulldozer coming in and saying, you know what, this is old, this has got to go, this is not working anymore, this is and all throughout that, themes of power, right? And who has the power, who's going to be in power, and power in government, Capricorn, right? Pluto, Capricorn, power, government. So politics, it's all been up, right? Okay, so we are shifting from that place where we're dealing with and confronting the places where our systems and structures are old, a little bit too rigid, a little bit too inflexible, a little bit not keeping up with the times, and moving into future oriented Aquarius. So now we're in the energy where we begin to really ask ourselves, what do we want for the future? We know what's not working. We've clarified that to in many different areas to a large extent. But what is the future about? How are we going to align ourselves with a vision, with an ideology, with innovative thinking, with getting outside the box? Very Aquarius, thinking outside the box. And so, what are the ways that we care about to move into a future that works better? Right? Building new systems and structures and institutions that work better, that are stronger, that are more future oriented and less grounded in the past. So Pluto now, so also dealing with power themes again. Remember, who has the power in Capricorn? It's the power in government. In Aquarius, Pluto is saying the power is in, well, there's two sides of Aquarius, right? There's there's the people, power to the people. There's communities, power in community, power in diversity, which Aquarius is all about, bringing our uniqueness and our differences to the table, and how we grow together in community from our places of difference, from our authenticity, from being who we truly are. But of course, you also have the other side of the Aquarius coin, which is about detachment. It is about technology and isolation, alienation, losing connection with things that are real, things that are human, things that are tangible. So here we have AI coming in, and themes of power, and like, what is that going to mean in artificial intelligence? What is that going to mean for our lives? What does that mean for our humanity? So again, who has the power? Where is the power? That struggle. And really along the Aquarian theme, or what is it, spectrum that we are in now. So we were in Capricorn, where it was themes of structures and building structures and shoring up structures, and thinking about our institutions and what is changing. And now that place of power is in more about whose idea is going to win, I guess, right? Like, so which how are we going to feed the ideas we care about and put our energy and our creativity and invest our time and resources into the things we care about for the future. So now what's happening is Mars, which generally takes 2 years to go around the zodiac. It spends a couple of months in a sign, except every 2 years when it goes retrograde. And that's what has been happening since late, well, since I don't know, when did it go retrograde? It was in November. Okay, anyway, beginning of November, believe it was November 3rd, was that exact Mars opposition to Pluto, with Pluto in Capricorn and Mars in Cancer. So, first opposition, Mars about action and courage, Pluto about power, pitting each other against pitting our action against power, pitting our, I don't know, our courage against what is transforming these themes, and dealing with Capricorn structures, institutions, government, who's in control. Capricorn is about control. And then Cancer, Mars in Cancer, about caring, about, compassion, nurturing the less fortunate, the needy, children. Cancer themes, how do we care for one another? So the themes of government versus caring. Then Pluto went into Aquarius, Mars went retrograde, formed a second opposition in when was that? December? No, January 2nd. That's right. Okay, so January 2nd, Mars went retrograde, in had its opposition in Leo. So Pluto was in Aquarius. Again, these themes of the future. What's it going to be? How are we going to find freedom? Versus Leo, with Mars in Leo, which is saying ego, right? I want the attention, all the attention. And so, are we using ego in a healthy way? Are we using ego in a way that wants to have themes of monarchy, autocracy? It's all about me, which is the dark side of Leo. Now, the healthy side of Leo is that ability to express ourselves creatively in our truth, in our uniqueness, in our authenticity. So again, we have this struggle, or this pitting of energies against one another, with Mars trying to find the action and the courage, and Pluto trying to find the power. And remember that these things are playing out in the world around us, and they are also playing out within us. So each of us is grappling with themes of power. What does it mean to be powerful? How do we stand in our power? Where do we need to take action? How do we speak out and express ourselves and find our voice? What does that look like? What does that mean for each of us as an individual? How do we need to show up and speak up about the things we care about? Finding that place of community and power to the people, power of, fighting for the things we care about, fighting for freedom, fighting for independence. Themes that really have to do with this country's roots, right? So, okay, freedom and independence is sort of built into our ideology. Anyway, that's why you see these big picture themes playing out in the collective. So what does it mean for each of us as an individual? And with Neptune, it goes on and on, right? Okay, Neptune now going into Aries. March 30th, Neptune went into Aries for the first time since the 1870s. And that shift into the brand new birth energy of Aries, saying, find your spirituality emerging in new ways, your connection to the bigger picture, what brings meaning into your life, is asking you to take action Aries, action, courage, move things forward, new beginnings, starting things. Remember, the beginning of things means that you don't have it all figured out yet. It means you are starting. There will be some experimenting, there will be some trial and error, and over time, things will get figured out. So, starting new things, embarking on new directions, new creative projects, new missions, new objectives. And so, with that vision for the future. So, here we come around to the third now. Now, Mars is direct. Mars went back retrograde into Cancer for a while, right? So, themes again of, you know, how we take care of those who are in need in various ways, how we take care of one another, whether you're in need or not, in our society. How, and, themes of how is government here to take care of us, right? What does that even mean? How do we want things to work? What do we want to keep? What do we not want to keep? What do we want to fight for? We might care about a lot of things and not be able to do something about all of them. So picking and choosing the thing you can do something about that is in front of you will help you move things forward. When you become overwhelmed by all the things you can't fix, you get kind of paralyzed. So, finding the thing you can do and taking baby steps, trial and error, and experimenting, that is what we are being asked to do by the universe right now. All right, so third exact opposition of Mars to Pluto. Mars now in Leo, Pluto in Aquarius. This exact opposition is it 4 degrees? 3 degrees. 3 degrees, Leo and Aquarius. So again, Leo, now this time Mars is direct. So we have a little bit more clarity. In fact, all the planets are direct right now. And so this is one of those moments in time when all the planets are direct. And so there's an opening, there's a forward momentum, a forward movement. We still have Venus and Saturn in Pisces. So they're in the big picture, like, a little bit of the fog, but also a little bit of the like, what is the important things that bring meaning to our lives and what do we care about in the big picture? So, the Aries, Neptune in Aries, uh, and let's see, Mercury in Aries. So the moon, sun was in Aries, moon, moves through Aries quickly. Anyway, Aries, energy of new beginnings. Neptune is there. It will be there until it goes retrograde back into Pisces. So we got more work to do there. But so as we move forward with this Pisces energy, with this Neptune in Aries energy, and the Mars in Leo, focusing on themes of who is the center of attention, right? Who gets the attention? Why are they getting the attention? What is the intention being given for? Who deserves attention? And how do we need to take up space to balance the places where someone might be getting attention for the wrong reasons? And so you can see that in the big picture, but bring it down to your everyday life too. And where do you need to take up more space because someone in your environment, your family, community, uh, someone around you, a local politician, maybe, right? Someone is taking up space that you don't agree with. You have to take up space too. You have to demand attention. And so some of the ways to get engaged can maybe help you show up, find your voice, say what you think, take up space, demand attention. So that's the theme, but also this can push us into places of conflict, right? Because everyone's feeling the drive of Aries, the Mars energy saying it's all about me, right? And then power, who has the power? So bring it into where this energy can be expressed in healthy ways. Where do you need to step up authentically, to be creative, to find ways to take up space and share your voice, to find your power through your authentic self, your authentic truth, to share that authentic truth with others, to come together in community, in coalitions, in ways that people can work together to bring about the changes that people collectively want together. So how is that showing up for you? What does that look like for you? What do you care about? What's worth taking a little bit of a risk for? How do you need to step forward? And so we are doing that, but we also want to remember that we have to stay grounded, right? We have to know who we are. We have to know why we're taking action, what we want to say, and why, and be as clear as possible, although it's also about taking baby steps and finding courage and doing things you're not comfortable with. So push your edges a little bit, but also before you do that, just say, this is what I care about before you take action, right? Getting clear about what matters to you and why, and then ask yourself, what can I do? What baby step can I take? And I'm really not just talking about political action. I am very much talking about in your own life. What projects are you working on? What direction is your work taking? Your creative work, your everyday work, your menial tasks, right? Maybe you're cleaning house. Are you cleaning house in a way that claims your space, right? That says, this is important to me. I'm going to prioritize this. And I'm doing this house cleaning or whatever it is because it helps me XYZ. So that's why you want to be clear about why you're doing things, what they mean to you, and then support yourself and choose your self-care as you go through that. All right, so fixed signs, Leo, Aquarius. The energy of fixed signs is the energy of digging in, right? It is it's that feeling of let's keep something going. Let's keep it the way it is. You can get attached with fixed signs. So that's good when we are using that energy to keep something going that is working well. It is not good when we become attached to holding on to things because that is what feels comfortable. So ask yourself the difference between that. Are you holding on to something because it's comfortable, or are you finding ways to implement changes in ways that you can put them into practice, into your routines, into your habits and patterns, into something that is sustainable long term? So I know this is a lot to think about, and if you're like me, you're you're busy trying to apply this to what does that mean for me and my life and what's coming up for me. So, take a pause and give yourself some time to connect with what you are needing. But okay, so back to the Taurus new moon in a T square with this Mars-Pluto opposition we are talking about. So again, fixed signs, Taurus, the energy of maintaining, sustaining, keeping something going, finding ways of making things tangible, implementing, embodying, putting into practice. So this new moon is beginning a moon cycle that is all about how we are going to keep things moving forward, sustain the changes, the things we tried and liked, or the things that we learned that we want to do more of, how to keep that going, how to put things into practice and make them maintainable, sustainable, repeatable, implemented. So that's the energy of the Taurus new moon, really, with this active and activated Mars tension, right? The opposition with Pluto can bring projection. It can reflect something. It can help us step into paradoxes and ironies and things that are both true and not true at the same time. So have a sense of humor and then find this path for yourself that is how you are going to practice something, how you're going to keep it going. The Taurus energy is also about the senses and making it real, making it tangible. So, thinking about your vision for the future, coming back to that idea, what does your vision for the future feel like? Like in a tangible way. What does it smell like? What does it sound like? What does it look like? So bringing it into your senses to really help yourself to make it real. Imagine the future you want, but imagine it from your senses. Connect with what it feels like to get your hands on the things that you envision for the future. Imagine, like, what does a day in the life look like for you if that thing came into being? If the problem that you feel distracted by right now was solved, what would that solution, how would that solution feel in your body? So, feeling into the vision. What does it feel like? And a great thing to connect with, right? Have a little quiet time, meditative time for yourself to just connect with your vision for the future, the solving of problems. What does that look like, feel like, smell like, sound like? How does it feel to the touch? What is it, right? What's a picture of it? Can you draw it? Can you do, I mean, some people do vision boards, right? You could cut out pictures, but what are the qualities that it has that your senses can perceive? And that is going to be a powerful way to work with this energy and to ground it, to bring it into your body. Again, Taurus energy is here to slow us down, to remind us to take things in the right rhythm. Even though Mars is, wanting an Aries, all that's like wanting to go forward without stopping. So, what does your body need? How can you take care of your body? How can you get grounded? Go, touch a tree, put your feet on the ground. And, even if you're inside, just connect with the colors and textures, the lighting, the sounds, what is around you. Play some music that is soothing to your soul, right? Or that inspires you or that you connect with. Bring it into your senses. So, all right. So that's, I think, what I will share for today. I do have a guided meditation for the Taurus new moon. I'll be posting that in the description for this video as soon as it is ready. I may not have it ready right when I first post the video, but thank you for being here and subscribing to this YouTube channel. I also have a link to become a supporting member of my work and my member site. Where there's more content and more about all these themes and how to best care for yourself. I'm Marina Orms. Astrologyheals.com is my website. Thanks so much for being here. I'm here every day with astrology for unshakable self-care. Tomorrow we'll talk about the Taurus new moon. Maybe we'll get a little bit more into the practical aspects of it. So today was about ideas. All right. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next time.